The A's are in second place? Hello, for everybody new here, this is a new channel, so please be sure to subscribe. It helps out the channel a lot. We're now half a decade removed from the last time the A's actually made it to the playoffs. 20 years since the last time the A's were able to make it back to a championship series in 2006. Unless they can pull something spectacular off this year, it'll be a full 2 decades before they make it back to a CS series again. A team that lacks as much success as the Athletics do is pretty hard to come by. Apart from the Rockies last year and the White Sox last year, they're always consistently one of the worst teams in baseball year in and year out. Such a storied franchise that has been around almost 125 years and has won 7 World Series in its history, you would think they would be one of the big market teams to make a splash year in and year out. However, we all know that that's not the reality we're in. In fact, there's literally a movie starring Brad Pitt about how the team refuses to spend money and thinks it's okay to try to win ball games with the least amount of money possible, refusing to pay their guys. Even in the last 5 years, there have been some very good players to go to other teams, as the A's just refuse to pay them. And I'm sure there will be some very young, good talents in this video who will suffer the same fate. And it's no wonder every player who can afford to has a no trade clause for the A's on their contract. No player wants to end up there, and most of their own players want to get out of a culture that doesn't prioritize winning and only prioritizes the way you can make the most amount of money from a ball club, whether that comes from winning or not. Just to name a few good players who either refuse to stay with the team or were traded away because they're not going to get paid by the club. There are too many to name, but in the last 5 years, Chris Bassett now boasts a 3.3 ERA with the Blue Jays, started with the Athletics. Sean Murphy, the catcher of the always competitive Atlanta Braves, has a chance to win a ring every year now that he's not on the A's. But don't forget, the Oakland A's were the ones who debuted him. Matt Olson, another one with the always competitive Braves, also acquired through a trade from the A's to the Braves and actually participated in their last playoff series against the Houston Astros. Wonder why? Maybe they had a couple good players back then. There's Sean Manaea right there. Not saying he's a great player, but that's some great facial hair. Anyways, not saying Sean Manaea is a great player by any means, but he's good enough to play for the Oakland A's. Not anymore. The Oakland isn't even good enough for the A's. There's Mark Canha right there. Mark Canha has played for 3 separate teams since being on the A's. He's a perfectly good player. Jesus Luzardo is another one who now play for my Phillies. He's boasting a great ERA, a 2.11 ERA and counting. Probably going to go down again after the start he had for the Phillies this year, but don't forget it. Also made his debut with the A's. Marcus Semien left Oakland and proceeded to set the record for most home runs ever hit in a season by a second baseman. He's a World Series champion with the Texas Rangers now, but he used to play for the Oakland A's. But the Oakland A's priority isn't to win ball games. It's not to win a World Series. It's to put a decent enough product on the field year in and year out so they can collect money on TV deals and keep scraping by with one of the lowest payrolls the world has ever seen in Major League Baseball. And there's too many to name right now, but there's people on this list that include Matt Chapman, a Gold Glove defensiveman who now plays for the Giants. Liam Hendriks, one of the best closers in MLB, got diagnosed with cancer, came back, played for the A's, didn't pay him, let him go. Jurickson Profar, suspended with PEDs, but he's a good player. At the end of the day, the Oakland A's are a team that just try to find as young a talent as possible, to pay them as little money as possible, to just be good enough. So what makes this year different? Well, they may have struck some gold in their young guns, and they have a real chance at making playoffs. All they need is some better pitching, and this team is going to be very good. Led by Brent Rooker, who people think is going to suffer the same fate as the other guys on this list. I think that Oakland, that isn't Oakland anymore, but I think the Athletics are going to be poised to be buyers at the deadline if they keep playing like they are now. This young team in the American League is top 5 in home runs and OPS. They strike out the 4th least in MLB and 5th in the AL in runs scored. This has landed them tied with the Astros in second place in the division. And as I'm making this video now, they have the individual pieces to make something actually happen this year. The next guy we got to talk about is Jacob Wilson, the guy that just hit that home run there. He's only 23 years old. He's batting 348 with an OPS nearing 850. The kid doesn't strike out and has a unique ability to always find holes in the defense when he's at the dish. His teammate, Tyler Soderstrom, also 23 years old, has a 288 average and 9 home runs through 45 games. This pair makes for a game-changing duo that games will be played through the summer months, and these two are going to change the course of this franchise's future for a long time. I mean, you also can't mention the A's without talking about Mason Miller. I did a video on Mason Miller just the other day, so go check that one out if you haven't already. But his expected ERA is all the way down at 1.27. He's 100th percentile among pitchers in his fastball velocity, chase rate, whiff rate, K rate, almost a 100th percentile guy in walk rate as well, which means once these numbers settle down this year and he's had some outings to bring his numbers back down to earth from the bad start he's had this season with the long ball, everything's going to average itself out, and he will once again be one of, if not the best closer in all of baseball. Leads that the Athletics have going into ninth innings, close or long, won't be blown, at least in the ninth inning. The problem with this team is the pitching. That's what needs work. They're a team that's 24th in the MLB in batting average against, 25th in ERA, 25th in WHIP. These are all very important metrics for a pitching staff, and it's been extremely bad this year. To be fair to them, they're playing in a ballpark in Sacramento that might not be helping them. That ballpark has seen the 5th most home runs so far in MLB this year. Hard to tell what factors go into this so early in the season. Is it because it's an easy ballpark to hit home runs in, or is it because they're a team that hits a lot of dingers and lets just as many up? I'm pretty confident that if the pitching can settle down for this team, they might have a chance to make a wild card, maybe even the 3rd team in the wild card. But with the expanded playoffs, they have a real chance to do something that you wouldn't really imagine. Handing the Dodgers an absolute ass whooping last night also helps. And the dream isn't far-fetched. Teams like the Phillies made the World Series as the 3rd wild card. The Diamondbacks just went to the World Series as a wild card. There's the 6 seeds in back-to-back years. Don't get me wrong. This team is a long way from making a World Series anytime soon. But as long as they actually keep this core together, that's what they need to do. Let this be my cry to the front office, who just moves on from their teams every time somebody loses their arbitration, go into free agency and get a new contract. A's baseball is just getting fun to watch again. All I ask is that the front office don't give me a reason to stop watching it by trading all of their fun guys. If you made it to the end of the video, please consider subscribing. It helps the channel and it's free. If you don't like my videos, you can always take the subscribe back, but please don't. Till then, I will see you guys in the next one.